I kind of need to know whether I'm actually able to defeat these guys. And if I'm able to defeat these fellows easily, then I should, in theory, be able to defeat a band of 180. Hello Reformers and welcome back to Pendor. Yes, we are in a battle with Eyegrim the Devourer. I don't know what makes his eye grim, but we're gonna find out when we get a little bit closer, and hopefully he's not gonna show us. Maybe it's a party trick, who knows. But hopefully we will achieve victory here. I have been told by a number of you in the comments that the army that Eyegrim actually has is sufficient, shall we say, in being able to defeat many, many units. And, well, let's hope that the many in question is, well, not more than 1,435 units, because that is exactly how many we have in our allies' armies right here. And I'm contributing 71 to that number. And as you can see, Eyegrim's army is poised and waiting for us to attack. Now, I'm not entirely sure if we are going to do that, but let's actually just see what Singalian decides to do here, because personally, I feel like we should have the advantage. I mean, you can see here the enemy has 140, we have 145 plus my 15, but personally, I don't really want to tell my people to charge in because I don't have that many to begin with anyway, and I don't really want to send in a whole bunch of my units just to die against an army that I'm probably not even going to get any kind of decent reward for. The only thing that I might get a pretty reasonable reward from is the renown value, but other than that, I don't think so. I don't think so, but you can see here that our ally has decided to place his units in some very strange formation, because you would think that he'd place his archers on the hill here, which would make a significant difference to his advantage, but apparently he's not decided to do that, so I'll just leave him to it, and we'll see if maybe I'm able to bait the enemy into attacking here. It is highly unlikely I'll be able to do that. I mean, you can see here that the enemy is actually moving backwards. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing, so I guess I'm just gonna wait here for some time and we'll see if they decide to make a move. Well, what do we have here? It seems like the Kingdom of Singalian has decided to move forward, finally. It took them a while, and the enemy has completely gone to the edge. As you can see here, the invisible wall is upon us, and I'm not entirely sure how we're gonna do this, because that will mean that our horses, and indeed our cavalry, are going to charge straight on in to the invisible wall, which is probably not going to result in a really good thing ever. So let me see if... Whoa, 93 damage, and I was still not able to kill any one of them. That's okay though, because we're distracting the enemy's cavalry to attack us instead of attacking the main bulk of our cavalry forces off to the side there. So if we can keep them a bit busy, we should have a... Never mind. Apparently I just got killed with 25 damage. Kind of surprised actually that I died that easily. I was actually kind of hoping that we would survive a little bit longer. And didn't I had about 65% HP, and that kind of just shows in a very kind of sour tasting situation that having a little bit more HP is probably going to be prevalent as we go forward here. So I'm probably going to decide to spec into a little bit more in Iron Flesh, and maybe that is going to help us out in the long run, because, well, you can see here that we're having some difficulties, and I'm not saying that I could have done a great deal to really improve the experience that our units are currently having here, but you can see that we've lost basically double what the enemy has, and that is a pretty scary thought. Lethal Durin is actually in the battle. Yeah, he's actually charging in now because I died. And yes, they're all charging in, which is really not very good. You know what I should really do? If I value my army at all, I should literally retreat right now and just let the Kingdom of Singalian fight it out. And I think I might actually do that, because in the grand scheme of things, I think auto-resolving is probably going to be much, much easier for the AI to do than it is for them to actually fight. Because you can see here, I think we... Didn't he have about 600? Yeah, I think he had about 604, and now he has 536, so we barely even took out 100. We didn't even make 100, so that's pretty crazy when he has taken out over 200, well, almost 200 of us. So yeah, that's pretty bad. Anyway, we're gonna just leave here. Apparently Frederick and Lethal Duran are upset at us making a smart tactical decision. I'm actually kind of half thinking that I should disable the companion complaints at this point, because I don't really want them to say to me, "Captain, I'm very upset." Yeah, there we go. "You run from battle when a little perseverance and some better tactics might have won the day. I am disgusted," says Frederick. Wow, aren't you... yes, aren't you very, very special? Okay, well, we're not going to be speaking to him any further, hopefully. And yes, hopefully he's going to stick around a little bit. Okay, so now this is where it's probably not going to work out too well for the Kingdom of Singalian, which is actually not very good for us in the long run. This is usually the reason why the Kingdom of Singalian usually gets defeated first. In every single game of Pendor that I have ever played, I've never selected the Kingdom of Singalian. That's exactly why we're working with them now, of course. But in the past, the Singalian Kingdom has been eliminated very, very easily, and I haven't really even helped to defeat them many times. So let's actually just take a quick look and see what's going on here. Okay, so they're... they're splitting. Okay, they're splitting away. Okay, that's interesting. That is very interesting. I actually thought that they were going to do battle for quite some time here, because they seemed to be winning. But apparently the Singalian vassals think otherwise, which is kind of strange. I really thought that they had it in the bag. And I'm actually going to go after this Black Coven here, because there's only 5 units available. And they do have a couple of prisoners that I wouldn't mind rescuing. In other words, a Cobra Warrior, Ravenstern Highlander, and so on and so forth. Ah, yes, we're going to go over to our lady, and we're going to be speaking to her very, very soon as well. I actually hoped for a bit of a better resolution when it came to that Eyegrim battle there, because I really wasn't wanting us to get eliminated so easily and then for us to run away. It's not really what I wanted, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes I just cannot influence whether I'm going to get hit, obviously, by a thrown weapon. But anyway, now they've actually bought enough time to get 2 of their units restored, but that's okay. And now let's just see if I can actually take out one of these guys and maybe get a worthwhile prisoner. Maybe this one? Yeah, why not? Just get a heretic minion. I suppose that's not too bad. And maybe we can try and get another one as well. Do bear in mind, I do have a mace, so I could use that. I just find that the lance is a little bit easier when you're trying to eliminate people pretty fast, because you don't really have to lower your shield then so much. There we go. Come on. Need another one. Yeah. Okay, I didn't get that guy. That was unfortunate. Okay, so where's the last fellow? Oh, he was dead. Okay, never mind. I was actually hoping that I might be able to get that guy on the horse, because I think he sells for a pretty decent amount. But anyway, that was not the main reason why we were even doing that. So, do I want to take any of this loot? I guess it's okay to do that, but do I want to? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's just take a little bit of it. It's kind of not worth it, but we're going to do it anyway. And what I'm going to do now is I'm probably going to try and go to a Fyhrr fief and maybe try and purchase an enterprise of some kind, because we are going to need to continue investing in these areas, even if the war between the Fyhrr and the Ravenstern, the Fyhrr and the Kingdom of Singalian reignites. We should still invest in that kind of thing anyway. Okay, so what's this? Bahadur, Leslie, the peddler, is useless to this company. When next we encounter Ramun, you should sell her off as a slave, as she is fit only for concubinage. Wow, Kasim, you are very, very harsh, are you not? Okay, well, I guess because Leslie has just joined us, we can say that he has our support, even though I'm not really a big fan of that. But, well, we've invested more in him, I suppose, so yeah, there you go. Yep, let's do that. Okay, so, now, do we have anything in Valenbray? There is a chest, as far as I'm aware, in Valenbray that has... Ooh, what is that? Ooh, Death Cult. Death Cult Marauders. Azidahaka herself? Okay, maybe we want to do something with these guys. I don't know whether we're going to be able to defeat them because they have fallen Melatine nobles. I'm thinking this might be a pretty cool idea because if we can capture some of these guys, they might sell for a pretty decent amount. So let's try it, shall we? Let's do it. This is actually the first time I've ever seen this party ever before on the world map. Maybe because they get defeated reasonably quickly, or maybe it's just because I'm never usually in this area. With the exception of my first ever series in Pendor, I have never played with the Fyhrr Vein. And, well, I suppose that's probably the reason, because I have spent over 200 episodes. Oh, dying, yes. I've spent other... Oh, yeah, there we go. Very, very much dead. Oh, well, never mind. That was my bad. Really should not have just charged straight on in there against these shielded lancing units. Probably a pretty bad idea. But hopefully some of our guys will be able to maybe take them prisoner. I think there is a fellow here. Doesn't he have a blunt weapon? No, I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't really matter. But anyway, point is that in my first ever series, obviously I chose the Fyhrr Vein because they seem to be really, really strong with infantry units. And at the time, I was of course playing through native, and I thought to myself, okay, well, what's a really, really cool infantry faction? Because at the time I was playing through with Swadia in native, and I thought it would be a really cool idea to play with the Nords of the mod, and technically the Fyhrr Vein are kind of the Nords of the mod, so I decided to go with them. And yeah, they're actually really cool. I think that the Fyhrr Vein is actually an even cooler faction than they were before, because they've been refined over the years and they now start using thrown weapons much more. And I think did they used to use bows? They might have used to use bows, but now they just use thrown weapons as far as I'm aware. And yeah, it's pretty interesting to actually have a faction that only uses thrown weapons in comparison to anything else. I think they do actually have a couple of units that use crossbows maybe, but yeah, Ravenstone obviously, if you want to use bows, the Shah are, you know, closely followed by that. And yeah, the Empire is very good with their crossbows. They're the best crossbow users. And don't count out the Singalians either. The Singalians are actually pretty good with... what are they actually good with? They're good with longbows. They're good with longbows, but there you go. Okay, so that was 4 renown, and we did get a snake mask helmet. Wow, that's actually one of the first times I've seen that as well, and Idiz is deciding to wear it. That is kind of hilarious, because his helm is actually the same protection to his head, so that's kind of amusing. Alright, well, not too bad. We're able to capture a whole bunch. We're going to take the pilgrims and the monks and as many of the farmers as we can. There we go. Alright. Oh yes, yes exactly. Has he joined the snake cult now? You Singalians have an interesting attitude, alright. I challenge you to fight me and prove you have some true manhood. Why not avoid a direct battle and strike later from behind when your enemy is off guard? Oh, they don't like each other. Who cares what method you use to kill if you come out ahead of the game in the end? Okay, so yeah, they don't like each other. I think as we've found out. So that's not particularly good. But anyway, let's go into Valenbray. I'd like to try and obviously speak to the guild master first, but otherwise we will go and try and find the chest. So I wish to buy land. Ooh, okay, so Earl Aiden Redsword does not like us. Is he in here? Yes, he is. Okay, so how... He's -6. Oh, that's not good. Do you have any tasks? I intend to pass by Torba. Yeah, why not? I might go down there and maybe do a little bit of trading and things like that, but apparently we cannot buy anything here. Maybe I'll buy something in Torba, actually, instead, because we might be having a pretty decent time there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to wait until daytime, because I think it's a little bit easier. Okay, so what's going on here? Estrella, goddess of justice, fight to defend it, and I will aid you when and where I can. Oh, defend what? Defend the sky? I can't possibly defend the sky. I don't really have wings, do I? Okay, well, at least I'm on a horse now. This is going to make finding the chest a lot easier. I believe it is on the ship, as far as I'm aware. I think it is. Yeah, there we go. It does have a dock and everything, so it should be very, very easy to find. It should be over here. And then we will... Come on. There we go. And then we'll be able to sell a whole bunch and maybe be able to afford 2 enterprises instead of just 1. And there's the chest. This is obviously going to make a good deal of difference. Oh, nice. That is a very, very cool helmet. We might be able to use that with one of our companions, and then obviously the various loot is going to sell for a whole bunch as well. And whenever we go to a tavern and, you know, speak to a traveler or a ransom broker, and speaking of a ransom broker, there we go, there's one. I'm going to sell these heretic minions for 88 each. Not too bad, pretty solid price. Then they always have a chance of refilling the chest every single time. So that's pretty good. And there's another companion. You know, I'm kind of thinking maybe we should just disable companion complaints and just recruit as many people as possible. Maybe that would be a good idea. I can't lead any more men right now. And that's actually a good thing, because I was going to think about getting that companion, and maybe it would be a better idea to just save my money. So we're going to go down to Torba here, because I'd like to try and see if I can deliver that letter, obviously, and maybe we'll come across a couple of Singalian units on the way. Alright, so I am in pursuit of the fellow that we need to speak to for the letter giving, and yeah, I actually just passed by a huge amount of Singalian armies, and let me just say that they are very, very tempting for me to attack, because they are, well, suffice it to say, carrying a huge amount of prisoners, and I don't exactly know how powerful they are. It's been a long time since I have done battle with anything like them, so maybe it would be an idea to try and defeat a smaller band. And I did see a smaller band of about 60 of them, so it might make sense for me to do that. I'm just going to level up a whole bunch of our units here. And I have 18,000 now, by the way. I have 18,000 money, because obviously I did just receive our weekly wages. It was about a profit of 3,000, so it's pretty good, not too bad. However, the band of Singalian units that I saw that were at about 60 strong were accompanying a band of 180, so it's probably not going to work out too well for us. But let's just take a look here. I'm not going to write it off just yet. Maybe we'll find a way to get around them. They were in this area, so maybe they will have traveled down here a little bit. I can't really see any tracks at the moment. There's some tracks. Maybe they've gone up this way. Might make sense. Okay, who's that? Ah, there we go. Okay, so there is the band that I was talking about. However, they don't have any prisoners, which is a big flaw in the sort of logic that I want to use here to attack these Singalian units. But that's the thing. I kind of need to know whether I'm actually able to defeat these guys, and if I'm able to defeat these fellows easily, then I should, in theory, be able to defeat a band of 180. Not easily, but maybe somewhat decently at least. So 84 against 67. Let's do this. Alright, so I am at full HP. Most of my units are at full HP, but these guys are all on horses, so this is going to be a very big mess. Oh, they're not all on horses. Oh, okay, they're not all on horses. I actually thought they were all on horses. Okay, well, never mind. Then we should maybe have a pretty decent time of things. They're actually... What are they doing? Do you see that? They're actually going up to the top right. I have no idea why they're going up to the top right. I don't know why the spearmen are coming after us. Oh, they are spearmen. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad for us. We have a lot of cavalry right now. And, what? can I just ask what is actually going on here? What is actually going on with their cavalry? They seem to be running into the top right of the... Okay, I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to take advantage of it. Yes, there we go. That's what we should do. I'm actually going to try and take as many of them prisoner as possible. Don't know why I'm using my saber. It's kind of a waste, isn't it? It's kind of a huge waste. These guys are, of course, going to be horse archers. That's absolutely terrible. You would, wouldn't he? Yeah, he would just attack me just as I'm about to knock him out. Okay, I guess I'm gonna tell my cavalry to charge in. I think I've already told them to charge in, but just gonna make sure. Okay, come on. Wow, I'm not doing that much damage, am I? Really not. Okay, come on. Can I knock someone out, please? Yes, thank you. Thank you. 66 damage right there? I don't need 66 damage right there. He was grievously wounded. Why do I need 66 damage? Ugh. Okay, yeah, as soon as I need 66 damage, then I'm gonna do 6. Yeah, that's usually how it goes for me. Okay, well, yeah, you can see here that... What? Okay, some of our units are scattering to the wind as well. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. Some weird stuff going on in this battle. The Singalians might have cursed us in some way. Gonna try and take out this... Is this a Singalian Temptress? Yeah, it is. And we knocked her out. Very nice. She's gonna sell for a huge amount of cash. Those high-tier units always do. And if we can get a couple more of these, then this will certainly pay for itself. And this was a pretty easy battle, but do bear in mind that it seems like they've kind of bugged out a little bit. I feel like they ran to the top of the map very, very strangely, and it's kind of similar to how our cavalry is doing as well. So, not entirely sure what's going on there, but, well, should I question it? Maybe? Yes? No? Well, doesn't really matter, to be honest, because we have achieved victory, and I suppose that is all that matters at this point, because that will give us, hopefully, the much-needed funds to be able to buy a couple more weavery and dye works, and then we'll be high-flying. We certainly will. I mean, we need a huge amount of money to be able to customize our knighthood order, which we are going to be creating at some point or another. And a couple of you have suggested that I join the Knights of the Ebony Gauntlet. And I did do that, by the way. I did do that in a previous series. So if you haven't seen those series, I'd highly recommend going and checking those out, because me joining the Ebony Gauntlet was a very, very fun experience. And yeah, I think we actually did attack the stronghold and become the Grand Master. So I think we did do that, didn't we? I think so. But anyway, there you go. That was a pretty nice thing right there. We were able to wound 13 of them. That's pretty nice. Let's let our friends just take whatever they so desire, because most of my gear is actually pretty good, so I don't really need to take it. And we'll move on, and we can rescue a Dashar lady-in-waiting. That means we're going to get some honor and stuff after we talk to her. And then we can take 13. Very nice. Wow, that was a really lucrative fight. And I'm just going to speak to the lady-in-waiting. Alright, so... yeah, so she can technically join us and then become something. Yeah, that one. There we go. Okay, so we're going to get a little bit of honor there. Honor, in my opinion, is much more important than getting an additional unit or whatever the case may be. So I'm just going to go with that. And a bunch of our people leveled up as well, which is very nice. And we're hopefully going to be getting those Salian halberdiers relatively soon, because as far as I'm aware, I still need to do that quest. Yeah, I still need to do that. 102 days, that's a lot of days, so nothing really to worry about there. And I still need to do the Spy in Rain. I was actually meaning to do that, but then Eyegrim kind of put me off going into Ravenstone territory, so we'll probably do that in an upcoming episode. So let's go into Singal and speak to the Guild Master. Maybe the people here will be a little bit more favorable to us. Yep, there we go. Okay, that's nice. And we're going to get 530. Shall I try and get something else? An ironworks? No. Oil press? Oh, oil press is actually pretty good here. Not as good, but still decent. And even a mill and bakery is pretty decent. Wow. Okay, so apparently a weavery is really, really good. So I guess I'm just going to do that. It's going to cost me 6,000 only. So that's a pretty decent amount. And I'm going to sell the various loot that I gained from the chest, as well as the other pieces of loot that I gained from the battles. And there you go, there's another 3,000 for us right there. Very nice. Almost, I mean, that's literally over 50% from what we just spent on the weavery right there. So that's pretty good. Is there anything else I need to sell here? Yep, there's just the various loot. There we go. And is this lame? No. This hunter horse was moving extremely slowly. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, but oh well, never mind. Okay, so let's cross our fingers for a ransom broker. Nah, Ramon the slave trader, he is a person that will buy prisoners, but unfortunately he is someone that will buy them for about 50. So it's really not very good. 50 for everything, which is not great. If you have really, really awful prisoners, like the lowest tier of bandit ever, then selling them for 50 is probably a decent idea, but usually it's not the greatest. So anyway, that will be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.